This is a short video to help you produce your infographic or to give you some tips on how to get started on it. The one you see here is of a fox. I did it this morning. You can choose any species. It doesn't have to be a wolf and it doesn't have to be a fox. You can use any species. You don't have to follow the format that I'm going to show you. You can adapt these tips and tools to produce your own one. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I'm just going to go out of this. We're going to open up a new PowerPoint presentation. So I'll end this and we'll open a new PowerPoint slide. So you've got your new PowerPoint. To get started, what you've got to do is change the slide layout to blank. The size of this should be around A3, and that's the size I will want you to print it at when this is finished and bring it in when college is finished. So to change the size you go to Design, then you come across to Slide Size, come down to Custom Size. Now you can do it in landscape or portrait. I did my one on portrait, so I'm going to switch back to that. So click the radio button for portrait here and the radio button for portrait there. Make sure that's ticked. For the screen size, click on the drop down menu and go to A3 and click Go. And just click Maximize on this button. I've now got an A3 format. So we can get started. I'll go back to the Home tab, and the first thing I want to do is add in a title. So I'm going to insert a text box across the top, and I'm going to call it Fox, and I'm going to put in the scientific name. Remember, the second name and the scientific name always has a small first letter, and the first one has a capital. I'm going to center that, and this is A3 size. You can see down here at the bottom, we're only viewing it at 48%. You can zoom out and you can zoom in, which might help you later on when you're doing this. I'm going to change the font here to probably 44, and then underneath I'm going to write my K number and my name. But what I'm going to do with the name, is I'm going to reduce that size to about 20. So that's it. I've got a title up. I'm going to move it up towards the top. Now you can make this bigger if you want. The next thing I want is an image. So I need to get an image of a fox. There's a number of ways of doing that. You can go and insert a picture. Sorry about that. You can go and insert an online picture, so you can look up a picture online. If you have a picture, you can put it in from your album, or you can take one from your computer. What I tend to do for this is just go to Google and go for Eurasian fox. Click on images, and there's an image I like. So I'll just click on that. Sorry, the connection is a bit slow here at home. So I like that. So I'm going to right click, copy the image, and I can insert it in here. So once you see that once the image is in, I've still got a background on it, so I need to remove the background. Now sometimes when you put in an image, the slide design pane opens up here. So I'm just going to close that for the moment. Okay, so once that's closed, what I can do is go up to the top left-hand corner and select Remove Background. That will put everything in pink that that wants to be removed. But if I enlarge it a bit, I can see that pieces of the ears are in pink, so they're going to be removed. Some of the tail is in pink, so it's going to be removed. So what I do is go up here and click on the Mark Areas to Keep. And come back here with the pen and just draw a line around the area I want to keep. So when it's a very thin section like that, just a line will do. For the tail, because it's a bit bigger, I need to probably circle the piece I want to keep. There's another piece out here. Yeah, I want to keep that. Actually, there's a little piece of grass there I'm going to remove. So go to Areas to Remove and just touch that there. Yeah, that looks good. So just press Return. Oops, sorry. Keep the changes, and it's been removed. I can now reduce it down here and put it in the corner. So I've got my fox put in. I'll now zoom back out again. It's at 140 zoom. Slight problem there that popped up. Okay, I'll just bring it back and center it. Sometimes these hop around and you just move them back in. So I'll go back, I'll zoom out further so I can see my full page, and I'm going to move the fox down here. Okay, so there's a little bit of space here between the fox's head and the top of this box. So one of the things I can do with that is right click and crop. And I can actually, I'm going to keep the tail in and move it down closer to his ears and move the bottom of it up. Move the bottom of it up a bit. So try to get rid of as much of white around his body as possible, get it in nice and neat. Okay, so he's in neater. Oh yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is make the name italics, and I'm going to just make that part a little bit smaller, maybe 36. Make sure that's bold. Yeah. Now once that fox is in, I can make him as big as I want. And you can do that as well. You can judge later on. Remember, this is A3 turned sideways. The background is something you might want to think about now. I'll just show you while we're on this topic. And one of the things I find with design, when I'm designing images or information panels for the National Park Service or anybody else, is if you've got a key feature, and the fox here is obviously a key feature, it's good to coordinate the colors of the fox with the background. So what I can do here is right click and format the background, and we're going for a solid gradient, and at the moment the color is white, but if I click on the drop down arrow I can go to the eyedropper. Now I'm going to increase the size again just for a minute here so I can see the colors on the fox. So I want to go for some nice color in there that will do the background of the poster. And I like to have the poster with maybe a strong background color. And if you look at the small box above the eyedropper. As the eyedropper moves around on the fox, the colour in that box changes depending on where it is. So that's a lighter area and this is a darker area. So I'm going to go for this darker area. And now the whole background has been picked in that colour and it matches with the fox. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Once you've got text on your infographic, there's two things you can do. You can either put a separate, you could put a border around this. So you could put an outline around it. You could fill the inside of it. And again, to fill the inside, you don't want it the same color as the background. So again, I go into the eyedropper. I'm going to increase the size here. Come down and look at the fox and maybe go for one of those lighter colors. I click that. And up here you can see it's a lighter color. Or you can leave it. That's a bit too bright. So what I'll do again is just go to do the fill, the eyedropper, and I might pick something there. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Or you can leave it blank and you don't have to put a line around it. The next thing you need to do is to start filling in some basic information about the fox. So there are a number of ways of doing this. You can go to insert. What I would often do is go to insert and shapes and click on a rectangle. Make a rectangle here. And while you're at it now, you could just fill the background. And the last one we chose was this. It's the same as the one above. I'll move it down a bit. And we want to give that a heading. So we'll put in a text box. And I'm going to call this biometrics. And move it up a bit. I'm going to change the font size to maybe 40. Got the box fits in. You can leave it at black or you can change your colors to white if you want. It's up to you whether you want to put a line, a border around that, but I wouldn't at this stage. You might want to put a border on this or not. You could leave it the same color as the background. Then you want to put in some biometrics. It's good infographics. The purpose of infographics is to reduce the amount of writing and maybe use images to get across your information. So that's why it's using graphics to get across the information. So here, biometrics is generally the weight and the size of the fox. So if we go back to our other one, we can see that there was the length and the weight of the fox. So I'm just going to copy this for the moment to speed things up. So what I'm going to do here is imagine I got this information. You can get it from a book or something like that. Type in the length and weight of a fox. But not all foxes are the same. Males and females are different. So this is the length and the weight of a male fox. So to indicate that, I want to put in a male symbol. So one of the handy ways of doing that is go to here to insert and go to icon